day everyone, my name is Lao Juana. My assigned topic is basic concept in statistics. So what is statistic? It's a collection of method for planning experiment. Ito dahil isang collection ng mga paraan para sa pagpaplano na para sa pag-e-eksperimenta. The second one is data are the values that the variable can assume. Ang data ay ang mga bahalaga maaring maging resulta ng isang variable. The second one is variable is the characteristic that is observable, measurable in every unit of university. Ito daw ay variable na ay isang katangian na maaring maobserba o masukat sa bawat unit ng pag-aaral. The next is population is the set of possible values of variable. Ang population ay ang kabuuang hanay ng mga.
So, good day everyone. I am Giovanni Impanayangan and I'm here to discuss the classification of variables. So we have two types of classification of variables, which is the qualitative variables and quantitative variables. So first is qualitative variables. So what is qualitative variables? Qualitative variables, words or code that represent a data, represent a class or category. So sa qualitative variables is, ito yung types of variables na hindi ginagamitan ng numerical measurement but instead describe characteristic. Ito yung di natin ginagamit ang mga number but inaalam natin kung anong category or class ba yung isang data na yun. For example is gender, which is meron tayong male and female, religion, Christianity, Islam, and Buddhism, and marital status, single and married. So, ang purpose ng qualitative variables is to classify or group data into distinct categories para di na tayo mahirapang hanapin yung data kung saan ba siya belong. The second one is the quantitative variables. So, number that represent an amount or accountable. So, sa quantitative variables is ito na yung ginagamitan ng measurable and countable data. Kung sa quantitative is hindi ito ginagamitan ng numerical data, dito naman sa quantitative is ginagamitan na ito ng mga numerical numbers. So, numerical data size are meaningful in answer questions such as how many or how much. So, sa quantitative variables is ito yung measurable and countable para malaman natin kung how many or how much ba yung isang data. For example is sa height. Mini-measurement natin kung ilang centimeter ba yung height ng isang tao. Same lang sa weight, yung kilogram. And sa household and number of registered cars naman is ito yung ginagamitan ng countable. So we have two types of quantitative variables, the discrete variables and continuous variables. So sa discrete variables is data that can be counted. So di ba sa quantitative variables is ito yung ginagamitan ng measurable and countable data. So yung countable is tawag dun is discrete variables. For example is number of days, number of siblings. Ayan yung na-counted natin yung ilan ba yung days sa one week or 1 month, and ilan ba yung magkakapatid or family sa isang bahay. Then sa continuous variables, data that can assume any value within range and can be measured. So ito nga, yung sa continuous variables is ito yung mga mini-measure na mga bagay-bagay o mga data. For example is weight, height, body temperature. So sa continuous variables can take fractional or decimal value. So yung fractional is ay yung mga numbers na walang point. So for example is a weight or height, hindi natin walang mga point yung numbers dun. While sa body temperature naman is ay yung may decimal values. Yung decimal is ay yung may point. For example is 36.5. Yun.
Okay, so hello everyone. My name is Almar Mansur and I will discuss nominal level and ordinal level. So the first one is nominal level. So This is catalyzed by data that consists of name, label, or categorized only. Nominal label observation can be named without particular order or ranking. So, ibig sabihin is wala tayong pakialam sa ranking and order. So, ang consider lang natin is ang name observation ng ating variable. So, words, letter, and even number are used to classify data. So, we have example here. The first one is gender. So, ang gender is pwede natin siya na-mean as a male and female. So, wala naman tayong ranking or order na magsasabi kung sino yung mas mataas doon sa dalawa. So, ang gender is a nominal level. Then, the second one is most preferred color. For example, is red, blue, and green. May name sila but di natin ma-identify kung sino yung mas mataas doon sa kanila. Then, the third one is usual sleeping time. For example, is morning, afternoon, and evening. The last one is civil status. For example, is single or married. So, ibig sabihin ng nominal level is may name siya but di natin ma-identify yung kung anong pagkakaiba nila kasi wala tayong order and ranking. So, the second one is ordinal level. So, this involves data that arrange in some order but differences between data. Ordinal level describe ranking or order. The difference or ratio between two ranking may not always be the same. So, kung kanina doon sa nominal level is wala tayong pakialam doon sa order and ranking, so dito sa ordinal level is meron na. So we have an example here. So the first one is happiness index for the day. So for example na lang is nanood kayo ng sine, then ang rating mo din is very satisfied and not satisfied. So alam na natin yung satisfied is ito yung pinakamataas. So pero di natin alam yung pagkakaiba kung for example is hindi natin alam yung paano yung pagkakaiba ng very satisfied dun sa satisfied. Di natin alam kung ilan yung points ng pagkakaiba nila. So pero ang alam na lang natin is ang very satisfied is ito yung pinakamataas. And the second one is high educational attempt. So for example is master degree, college graduate, high school, and elementary. So alam na natin yung master degree is ito yung pinakamataas, pero di natin alam yung kung ilan yung differences ng master degree sa college graduate and college graduate dun sa high school And the third one is ranking of tennis players. For example, is champion, first runner-up, second runner-up, and third runner-up. So, alam na natin yung pinakamataas is ito yung champion kasi may ranking and order tayo sa original level. So, pero hindi natin masasabi kung ilan yung points or percent yung pagkakaiba nila. For example, is yung champion and first runner-up is pwede mga 3% ang pagkakaiba nila. Din sa, pero hindi pwede na sa first runner-up at second runner-up is 3%, pwede din sa mga 5%. So, the last one is academic excellence award. So, for example is gold, silver, and bronze. So, alam natin yung gold ang pinakamataas at yung silver, and the last one is bronze. So, ibig sabihin na ang ordinal level is may ranking siya but di natin ma-identify yung ilan yung percent yung pagkakaiba lang bawat isa.
Good day everyone, my name is Alhanaf A. Mangigin and group 9. So my topic is level of measurement, which is interval level and radial level. So interval level, this is the same in ordinal level with an additional property that we can determine meaningful amount of difference between the data. So may ordinal property, may order o ranking, pero mas advanced dahil sinusukat nito ang eksaktong pagkakaiba ng mga values. Arbitrary, pero points, walang tunay na 0 o walang kahulugan ang 0. Hindi ito nangangahulugang walang halaga. So ang example nito ay body temperature Celsius. Ang pagkakaiba sa pagitan ng 30 Celsius at 20 Celsius ay 10 Celsius, ngunit ang 0 Celsius ay hindi nangangahulugang walang init at arbitrary lamang ang 0. So, number 2 ay IQ. Ang IQ na may 140 ay mas mataas ng 20 kumpara sa IQ na 120, pero hindi ibig sabihin nito ay mas matalino na ng doble ang isa kaysa sa isa. So, yun lang si interval level. So number 2 is ratio level. This is an interval level modified to include the inheritance zero starting point. It is processes a meaningful absolute fixed zero point and allows all arithmetic operation. May parehong properties ng interval level, may order at sukat ng pagkakaiba. May absolute zero. Ang zero dito ay literal na at nangangahulugang walang halaga. Maaaring gamitin ang radius. Halimbawa, pwedeng sabihin na ang isang bagay ay doble ang halaga sa isa pa. So, example of this is number of sibling. Ang isang tao ay may 0 na kapatid at literal na walang kapatid, kung ang isa naman ay may 4 na kapatid at ang isa naman ay may 2 na kapatid. Masasabi mong doble ang dami ng kapatid ng unang tao. So number 2, weight. Ang timbang na 0 kg ay nangangahulugang walang timbang kung ang isang tao ay may timbang na 60 kg at ang isa naman ay 30 kg, ay masasabi mong ang una ay doble ang bigat. Number 3, weight. So ang taas ng 0 cm ay literal na walang taas kapag ang isang tao ay may taas na 180 cm ay isa naman ay may 90 cm at ang una ay doble ang taas. So that's all my report. Thank you again. My name is Alhanov A. Mangigin, the group 9. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Jihan Al Marandakan. I am in group 9. Number 1 is random sampling. This is done by using chance or random numbers. Example, isipin natin na gusto natin mag-survey ng 100 student from a school of 1,000 students. You could assign each student a number from 1 to 1,000, then use a random number generator to select 100 unique numbers. The student corresponding to those numbers would form your random sample. Number 2 is systematic sampling. This is done by numbering each subjects of the population and then selected KTH number. These methods involve selecting participants of regular intervals from a number list. You choose starting points randomly and then select every KTH element after that. K is determined by dividing the population size by the desired sample size. And then number 3, stratified sampling. These methods involve dividing the population into subgroups or strata based on shared characteristic or age, gender, income. Then you randomly sample from age stratum proportionally to its size by the populations from all the subgroups. Number 4 is the cluster sampling. This methods involves dividing the populations into clusters or geographically based groups, randomly selecting some of these clusters and then including all members of the selected cluster in the sample.
Mean. The mean is the most commonly used measure of central tendency. When we speak of average, we always refer to the mean. So as you can see in the screen, they add first the number and then divide it. Here are the other sample of mean. The age of 5 contestants in a statistic quiz B are the following: 18, 17, 19, and 18. To find their average age. To do that, we need to add first all the contestants' age so that we can divide it into 5. We need to first add the 18, 17, 19, and 18. So we got 19 total. And then let's divide it into 5. You may be wondering, where did I get the 5 number? All I did is that I count how many contestants joined. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now let's divide the 90 divided by 5. So the result will be 18. So our average age are 18. So that is our mean.
Good day everyone, I am Norhidaya Mualam and my assigned topic is about median. So the median is the midpoint of the data array. Before finding this value, the data must be arranged in order from least to greatest or vice versa. The median will either be a specific value or will fall between two values. So example 1, example 2, example 3, example 4, example 5. So dahil odd number siya, isa lang yung median, which is yung example 3. So alam naman nating lahat yung odd number, which is yan yung 5, 7, like yung 9, 11. So ito siya is 5 lahat yan. So ang median dyan is yung example 3. Then the second is example 1, example 2, example 3, example 4, example 5, example 6. So dahil 6 lahat yan is even number siya. So dalawa yung magiging median, which is yung example 3 and example 4. So ang gagawin dyan is ipa-plus muna siya yung example 1 and example 3 and example 4, then i-divide siya by 2, and the result is yun na yung median. So example is 7 mothers were selected and given a blood pressure check. Their blood pressure were recorded below, which is 135, 121, 119, 130, 121, 131. So to find their median is i-arrange muna siya from least to greatest or vice versa, which is 161, 119, 121, 121, 130, 131, 135. So dahil odd number siya, so isa lang din yung median dyan, which is yung 121 na naka-highlight dyan. Another example is 8 novels were randomly selected and the numbers of pages were recorded as follows: 415, 398, 402, 400, 420, 415, 407, 425. So to find also their median is we need to arrange it from lowest to greatest or vice versa. So 398, 400, 402, 407, 415, 415, 420, 425. So dahil lahat yan, so even number siya. So dahil even number naman siya is dalawa yung pipiliin natin, which is yung nasa gitna na 407 and 415. So para makuha natin yung median is i-add siya, and kapag ma-add natin siya is i-divide by 2, and yung result is yun na yung median. That's all.
Assalamualaikum everyone, I am Hanila Palo and I am going to tackle about mode. So mode, it is the value that occurs most often in a data set. So the number, values, and observation in a data set which appears the most number of times. So in other words, mode it has the most frequent value. Kung sino yung mas marami or yung magkakapareha, mas maraming magkakapareha na number, yun yung mode. Yun ang tinatawag na mode. So here are some examples of mode. So as you can see here in below, yung mga numbers natin, nandyan yung nakalagay dyan yung mga numbers na iba-iba na hindi magkakapareho. So, i-arrange lang natin yan from ascending or descending data, descending order. So, i-arrange mo yan from the smallest number to the greatest number. So, dyan, mahahanap mo dyan yung ma-analyze mo na dyan kung sino yung mas maraming number. So, as you can see, 22, the number 22 has 3 times. 3 times siyang na-repeat. So, yan yung magiging mode natin. So, the number 22 is the data set to be unimodal. So, another examples here is the speed of 10 stenographers in typing per minute are as follows. So, may mga numbers din dyan. So, as you can see, i-arrange naman natin yan into smaller to the greatest number. So, as you can see, dalawa yung 115 at saka dalawa din yung 121. So, it means dalawa yung magiging mode natin. So, the data set has 2 modes, the 115 and 121. So, kapag dalawa yung magkaparehas na number, yung magkaparehas na dami ng number, sila yung tinatawag na bimodal. So, last example of mode is here. So, find the mode of the given data. So, here are the numbers, the 5, the 2, 5, 8, 9, 11, 4, 7, and 23. So, kung i-arrange mo yan, ni isa sa kanila walang magkapareha na number. So, there is no mode. So, yun lang. So, in conclusion, mode is yan yung mas na-analyze mo na mas easy to analyze kesa sa past reporters, yung median at saka median and mean. Mas maintindihan mo na mabuti, mas easy na maintindihan mo yung mode kesa sa mean and median. So, yun naman po. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
So, good day everyone. I am Saliha Lingas. So, I would like to discuss how to get the weighted mean. So, this is the formula of weighted mean. Weighted mean is equal to sample or the given number of x times the weighted mean and then divided by the sum of the weights. So, example. So, many colleges uses the 4 points grading system. A equals to 4, B equals to 3, and C equals to 2, D equals to 1, F equals to 0. Find the grade points average of the Leon's grade in the given semester course grade. So, in this slide, we can see in the box the courses, grade, and units of every subject. So, there are 4 subject course. English, which is English, history, and chemistry, algebra. So, ang grade kay ang value niya kay x. So, which is B, A, D, C. So, given naman yan. So, ang B kay 3, ang A kay 4, ang D kay 1, and C is 2. So, ang number of units naman every subject natin is 4, 3, 3, 4. So, ang value niya is width. So, i-substitute natin ang width ang x tsaka width. So, makakagamit tayo ng multiplication in addition dito. So, 3 times 4 plus 4 times 3 plus 1 times 3 plus 2 times 4 equals 35. So, ang 14 kay ito yung sum of width natin. I-add natin ang every subject. Ang 4 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. So, equals 14. So, para makuha natin ang grade points of average of Dillon or weighted mean is i-divide natin ang 35 at saka 14. 35 divided by 14 is 2.5. So, that's all. Thank you.
Good day everyone, I am Abdillah Muksana from Group 9. My topic is frequency distribution. A frequency distribution which is a table that lists observed events and the frequency occurrence of each observed event is often used to organize raw data. So firstly, number of computer per household. Makikita naman natin dyan na may 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, sa number of computer X naman, saan galing yung 0? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Galing po yan sa number of computers per household. Makikita naman natin sa number of computer per household na may 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, doon galing sa number of computer per household. Then, sa number of households naman, saan galing yung 5? Galing po yan sa number of computer per household. Ilan yung 0 doon? Bibilangin mo. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, 5. Ganon din sa 1. Ilan yung 1 sa number of computer per household? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12. Ganon din sa 2, 3, 4, 5 hanggang sa 7. Pag makuha natin yan, lahat sa number of household, i-plus natin yan. 5 plus 12 plus 14 plus 3 plus 2 plus 3 plus 0 plus 1 equal 40. Dito naman tayo sa formula niya. Itong 0.5 plus 1.12 plus 2.14 plus 3.3 plus 4.2 plus 5.3 plus 6.0 plus 7.1. So, saan yan galing? Galing po yan sa number of computers X at saka number of households. Makikita naman natin dyan na 0. Yung 0 katapat niya yung 5 hanggang sa 7. So, i-compute natin yan. So, itong 0.5 is times yan. Automatic times yan. So, 0 times 5 plus 1 times 12 plus 2 times 14 plus 3 times 3 plus 4 times 2 plus 5 times 3 plus 6 times 0 plus 7 times 1 equal 79. Makikita natin dyan sa baba na may 40. So, galing po yan, yung 40 po yan, ay galing po yan sa number of household. Diba, i-plus natin yan. Yung 5, 12, 14, 3, 2, 3, 0, 1 equal 40. So, yan po. Doon po galing sa number of households. So, 79 divided by 40 equal 1.975. Yan po yung answer niya. Gets po ba? So, another example. Sa number of computer per household, may 0. Firstly, magsisimula tayo sa pinakamababa. Kung ano yung pinakamababa na number hanggang sa pataas na number. So, ganun po yung number of computers, X. Yun, sa number of household naman, kung makikita ninyo, may 0. So, kukunin natin sa number of computer per household, ilan yung 0 doon? Bibilangin natin. So, doon natin makukuha yung 5. Kasi 5 yung 0 doon, no? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ganon din sa 1 hanggang sa 7. So, sa formula naman, kung makikita ninyo dyan, may 0.5 plus 1.12 plus 2.14 plus 3.3 plus 4.2 plus 5.3 plus 6.0 plus 7.1. Hindi po yun point, times po yun. Automatic times po yun. So, 0 times 5 plus 1 times 12 plus 2.14 plus 3 times 3 plus 4 times 2 plus 5 plus times 3 plus 6 times 0 plus 7 times 1 equals 79. So, kung makikita ninyo may 40 sa baba niya, yung 40 na yan ay galing sa number of household. Diba, i-plus natin yung 5, 12, 14, 3, 2, 3, 0, 1 equal 40. So, pagkatapos niyan, bring down 79 divided by 40 equal 1.975. Yan po yung answer niya. So, thank you.